That'll help, won't it, Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened out to the fire.
They can use it too on the recycle.
And basically, we're going to still maintain the maintenance on it, and they're going to provide the qualified driver.
Good deal.
Insurance.
And keep insurance, yeah.
That'd be good.
Next item is department reports. Jimmy, I know you got a report here.
Just let y'all know about the salt. We used about 125 tons this year. I ordered 100 tons put back in stock. I'd say we roughly got 450 to 500 back in the building. Hope we ain't got that. The track loader I told y'all about last meeting, I had him come out and look at it, and he told me best about 80% wore out. He said best just go on, just wire them completely out. So I can't use it no more, so we hope to get another 400 hours out of it. It's gonna put us through this year good. The ditcher.
We need to make sure we put in our next, the next budget, we need to get, okay.
80% wore out, 400 hours, that's a lot.
It saves us a ton of money by what the work and everything you do with it, but we need to make sure we put that money in, because I know you don't have it in your repair and maintenance right now, so.
The ditcher's been tore down for a couple of weeks, transmission, we got it pulled out, we sent it off, hope we get it back together next week sometime. There's some trees on Keegan, we've been up there working around the creek and cutting some trees and setting some blocks. And there's two big stumps that's close to the road. I'd like to hire somebody to grind them stumps down. It's gonna be, I don't know, a couple of $100, $200 or $300. I really don't know. And I'd like to ask our Kevin Spivey full-time. He's been part-time with us for 4 years. Y'all know how it is. We can't get no help. He's got license.
You already know the county. Yeah.
I'd like to bring him full-time.
But that's not going to interfere with his paperwork.
He's retired from the county.
It's not going to interfere.
It won't affect him at all. The only thing that the county have to pay is the county contribution, which we would have to pay on a full-time employee anyway. And now no one would ever get to draw that.
Except the state.
Except the state, yeah.
That'll fix their budget problem.
Yeah.
They can really take care of us anyway.
Yeah.
Second.
Is this on Spivey or are you?
Oh, Spivey
Okay.
first. And on this other, do we need to do that? Just figure, I would do that, but do Spivey first.
$200 or $250 for the stumps, maybe?
Yeah. Brandon Lee's gonna look at it, give me a price. He said it wouldn't be much, $200 or $300 at the most.
Well, let's go with Mr. Spivey first there.
Okay.
We got a motion and second.
Mr. Quayle?
Yes.
Mr. Fogle?
Yes.
Mr. Etter?
Yes.
Mr. Kirk?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Yes.
Now, you want to do the...
Yeah, motion. Go ahead.
Motion on the stumps, say 300.
Yeah.
The maximum of $300 to grind the stumps and remove.
Excellent.
Mr. Quayle? Yes. Mr. Bishop? Yes. Mr. Etter?
Yes.
Mr. Fogle?
Yes.
Mr. Kirk?
Yes. Thank y'all.
Hey, real quick, Jimmy, and by the way, thank you for getting Horn Lane fixed there, or Sam Brandon, but on Horn Lane, where you guys went out there and fixed that little, there's a part you fixed that on Horn Lane. The water, if you could put something on the side there, because the water's eating it away, if you'll just go back out there, give me a call, we'll go out there and look at it, and if there's something we can do, put a little filler or something there, it'd be great. But just call me. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jason. You want anything? You good?
Thank you, Jason.
You love for that. I like Jason's report.
Keith?
That's a good report.
How's the, just real quick, how's the study coming for that you and Sharon are working on?
Great.
Good deal.
Great. We're going to be keep wide open on Thursdays and Fridays. We're probably going to do 120 different people on the study. Contractors, venues. It's really eye-opening and really going well.
Excellent.
Hey.
We'll get a copy of all of it and all the questions and answers that everybody gave without names.
I don't know if I need to ask you this or Scott Spalding at the school. I was told back the first year that this year they're not doing the paper and the can, or some teachers used to get these big boxes and they recycled all their paperwork and stuff in the schools. I know at Calvary especially, I can't say about the rest of them, but there's some kind of grant they got, ran out, so they quit. The way I can understand it, they quit doing it because the grant ran out, but they used the grant to buy all the bins and all the stuff they needed. The recycling doesn't cost them anything, I wouldn't think, because they're gonna throw it in the trash. But can you find out, are they still doing any recycling at the schools, or do you know?
Limited. It seems like it's getting less and less, even though the Board of Education is required to recycle.
That's what I thought.
They are. And,
we need to check in.
There's been an issue with getting the internal logistics worked out to bring it out to our trailers, cleared in the trailer. That's something really the school board.
Well, that's what, I can talk to him, because do they even still take the trailers around to the school? I haven't been seeing it out to Calvary.
Well, they are, but some schools said they don't need it anymore, so we really need to get with the Board of Education and let them know that there is a KRS that requires them to recycle.
Because I know,
It's what it is.
I know there, all these bins they bought to put in every class, or, you know, they're not even, they're in a storage building, they're not even using them. So I know, but
It's an interesting proposition. I'm doing the annual report now and doing all the calculations on recycling. And I just actually finished one today a little bit. When we were in between interviews, I still work on these other projects. And recycling is up 2% over 2017, this past year. And I know the cardboard, since we bought the compactor, the cardboard route, we did 255 tons of cardboard in 2017. This past year, we did 505 tons of cardboard in total. So recycling, even though the schools are not really doing what they should, I mean, it is what it is, the recycling still continues to increase every year because the people are doing the right thing. But I will get to the school board, Scott, and those people.
that was one of the factors we bought those trailers, wasn't it? So they could pull them around to the different locations.
We had a couple of trailers on that dedicated to the schools, and they still use them, but not like they did initially.
I think the neighbors, the community use them more so than the school, from what I can understand. The community people will recycle, but we'll check with Scott too, because,
Well, there's some low-hanging fruit in schools. One is white office paper.
Yeah.
Now, that requires a little bit of coordination inside the schools with the containers you're talking about.
yeah,
But one of the big hitters, if they use it, is the steel, the cans, the number 303 cans and stuff that comes out of the
cafeteria,
food trucks there.
yeah.
They're not doing that.
I don't, that's what I say, we need to have a discussion with them, because they're supposed to be teaching recycling. Or, you know, they're supposed to
I agree.
promote stuff like that.
I will get on that, break some time with it to do that.
Good point.
Thank you,
Good point.
Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Eric?
Working on the budget and our data from last year. We'll schedule hopefully sometime in March, try to have just jail operations training like I've done in the past year, so we kind of go over the operation on an annual basis, and then log it into local government on our training hours as well, so it is education. So hopefully get that done, like I said, by March, late March probably.
Has everybody been through that? So, I'll tell you what, it opens your eyes, doesn't it?
Jackie, have you been through it?
To what our deputies at the jail go through. God, jeez.
We did, I was at the jail committee meeting earlier, but the judge and I went up to Frankfurt this past week, spoke with Secretary John Tilley and with Higdon and his assistant. But anyway, he assured us pretty much that the per diem factor was going to be addressed in 2020 budget session. So right now, I'm trying to work up a program, possibly a pilot program that the Secretary will agree upon, and maybe we can get an adjustment prior to the end. But I mean, like I said, it won't be an open across the state. It'll be something solo.
Yeah. Be great. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Barry. Robbie?
I'd like to hire a part-time EMT position. Brian Bailey Rosenberg, and Douglas. That's nice and name.
I'm sorry, what was that last name?
There it is. Spell that.
That was a pretty good effort, though.
They all are residents of the county as well.
Good.
Second. Mr. Bishop? Yes. Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Quayle?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Next thing I have is a monthly report for January. We did 224 calls for service for the month of January, and we're at about, I think, 274 or 275.
Yeah. Master Quayle, you might notice the age there that,
Jackie Fogel on there?
well, I'm just saying, watch what you do here.
Age.
I understand.
I've rode in that buggy before.
Make fun of those guys.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Robbie.
The last thing I have is
yeah.
the back page there, it says a spectrum contract that create our internet, our phone services. It's going to be an additional about $80 a month to our bill. But on the other side of that, where we have MiFi cards in our trucks, we reduced, we went from an unlimited claim to an 8 gig claim, which is still going to give us plenty to do what we need to do. We've used it a year now. And so it's pretty much going to be a wash. So it should be about the same, but you all need to approve to upgrade our service down at the station.
Motion to upgrade the service for the Spectrum contract. Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop? Yes.
Does Spectrum provide all of our internet
We
service?
changed, what, a couple of years ago?
It does all the counties, but not
Right.
the cities.
Well, my point there is that they now have that streaming service, and I know I went to it, I saved a bunch of money by going, they packaged it together with the higher level internet, and it was actually cheaper, so just something you might,
Something to look at. We just,
something you might ask
it ain't been
about.
too long since we did that, because we'll look at it again.
Yeah. You might ask them, because their internet package on that actually is higher than the standard
Yeah.
cable, so. Which if you're uploading, downloading reports, you need all you can get, so.
It used to be paper, it's not anymore.
No.
That's all I have, unless y'all put up another thing. I had a truck down here, we picked it up last week in Tennessee. You guys want to look at it on the way out?
It fits?
We got good radios in it, and our equipment in it, hopefully have it inspected in the next week or two by the state, and we make arrangements that.
Good deal.
One more, John Otherby, he relate to this. I asked Robbie about it. Used to, all the services were Windstream.
Yeah.
So in the case that the PD went down, they could transfer everything down there. We need to check with West because it's two different companies. And if the PD goes down, I don't know that Windstream, they can't transfer services to Spectrum, So,
Yeah, for some reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for some reason, I'm thinking that, Windstream provides the primary term or IP
Yeah.
connection, because it's an IP connection. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they've got a backup or a secondary, maybe through AT&T or something.
They got AT&T down there.
But that's an excellent question.
Like the phone lines, their actual phone lines that they were talking about transferring in case of emergency, they're strictly Windstream copper lines. They don't come in on a T1 or anything. There's copper.
They're still copper.
Yeah, and so there used to be copper down there, and they could just call forward and shoot them down there.
Right.
And they maybe could still forward them to his lines. That might be what they would do, but
That's a heck of a good question.
they're through Spectrum, but they could still probably call forward from PD line, but something they need to be aware of.
That'd be a good question to pose to,
Sharon might would know that, because I know she's been looking at all that anyway, so.
but
Westwood, he's into their.
West
He
should
would
know.
know, yeah, but because they,
So
before,
that's actually what does happen if that primary IP line goes down.
because before he's saying now the way it is, even the 911, they're going to redo the consoles and they're going to roll them back to the Windstream lines. They can back and forth like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if something happens if they can roll them to the 911 lines,
Yeah, that's a good
if
question.
they can roll them to Spectrum or not, but I think the PD may be going to eventually change to the cities, where they're both, there's Spectrum and Windstream both, but it's something we need to check with Wes and maybe Sharon.
So, yeah.
That is an excellent question.
I just, when I saw the Spectrum thing, being two different companies, they may not.
I mean, you hope that they made,
If it's just a core deal, they could do it, but if they got a roll like the 911, like, I don't know how that would actually.
I would think that Lexington, when they set that up, that they took that in consideration, sure to God, but I can't answer it, I don't know.
Plus, back then, Spectrum wasn't doing that many, or, you know, it's
No,
kind of
right.
changed in the last few years.
Actually, when it first started, it wasn't Spectrum, you're right, it was Windstream.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll talk to Sharon and Wes and.
It's a good question.
Lexington question, because going through Lexington, I hate to think how many phone companies they do this, but as far as broken calls over, like even when you get bit.
Well, you know, if it's IP, that's one thing, but, and if it's IP on the backup, that's fine, but if they're going through a copper line or a telco company, then you're right, that can get a little tricky, but it's just a matter of finding out. I'm sure there's a secondary, but that'd be a great question to ask.
Yeah, just when I saw the Spectrum, I just happened to realize they're two different companies now, so.
That's a good point. Thank you, Mr. Quayle.
No problem.
Hey, Robbie, on that new truck, I know you've still got to add your equipment and a lot of weight and things to it, but kind of keep us informed on how they like the truck, how it's handling, the stability, because I know y'all been in the bigger trucks, and let us know what the employees think about it as well.
DBW-wise, this truck isn't but about 1,000 less. You know, the international, as far as package weight, it should be fine. Of course, it's going to drive it.
It's going to drive a little different, but getting around should be a little better, and power-wise, I think you'll see a difference as well, but let us know what they think about it, please.
That's a good question.
If we're going to put these into rotation every so many years, we'll kind of keep up on how they're performing, so.
I see Sharon's in there, she prepared that.
Yeah.
What we were talking about was, the PD is on Windstream copper lines, the telephone lines, and in case of emergency, it was set up before so they could just roll them down to the EMS building. And I don't know if they do that through a call forward, I don't know how I can't remember how they said they were gonna do that. But now, they're gone Spectrum down there now, and if it's just a call forwarding issue, they could just call forward it down there, but if they got like the 911 lines, they come in a little different.
I think with AK Associates,
They've got a plan, or,
opening our post, it automatically will bounce to where it needs to go.
Well, and that's the question we have, is that AK and Associates take care of it for the city of Lexington. They do an excellent job, and they oversee the primary link, that primary IP line that comes in for 911. So the question we have is that if we can find out, is that what happens if that goes out?
Lexington would answer, so if it gets knocked out here and somebody dials 911.
It goes to Lexington.
Goes to Lexington.
It bounces to Lexington, and they'll get a 911 dispatch in Lexington, and they would.
okay.
They have the information that our emergency sign.
So the
Number, they got the information in on the other numbers.
So they've got the 911 covered, so the only other option would be the copper line, like for police and PD and all that, and they could forward them like we had set up before, because it don't care who it goes to when you forward it, so.
That's one good thing about copper. Ain't a whole lot of good, but there's one
Yeah,
good
that's
thing
one
about
thing,
that.
yeah. Okay, that's, I was just concerned mainly with the 911, but as long as somebody's answering them.
AK Associates in Lexington, they're
Yeah.
a host, so if for some reason it
Blows up.
ring here, then they're gonna get Lexington.
Okay.
And they would probably call Taylor, they would work it out to where there would be a response. But they have all the information from us as far as the backup numbers and contacts.
Yeah, okay, we'll just,
But Wes Cox was here.
No.
I gotta see him next
But
week.
you could really.
Yeah, I'll just touch base with him.
better than I.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Emergency management, I think Gary Luce is out of town, and I haven't talked to Laurie this week. Sheriff Clements did call me, I guess it was last Monday night, Tuesday night, when all the cold weather what night was that when we got down?
Last Wednesday night?
Last Wednesday, yeah. We had a couple individuals he had gotten some calls from, and we didn't have a warming center set up, but I did contact John Thomas, and they were going to open up Center Square if need be. We never received, Jimmy went and checked on these people and never had any issues. They were all, a family had stepped up to help them, and we didn't have to do that. But that's something we can do if we need to, but it's as kind of I know a few years back, we opened it up and nobody even came to it, so I mean, it's,
yeah, we opened up several.
We opened up several.
Across the county.
Yeah, so, if you know people out in the cold, we'll help you. We need to know, so.
It's something we need to kind of advertise maybe a little bit on, or have a way to get the message out to them.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I've seen people put stuff that, why ain't the county doing this, the county, we're out there. We're out there to help, so.
Somebody told me, said, you should advertise on Facebook, and I said, well, I don't know if homeless people have Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So the point is, the sheriff's department or whatever agencies.
Exactly.
EMS, local churches, they just need to know that, hey, contact us and it'll be taken care of.
It'll be taken care of,
yeah.
Exactly. All right. Animal control, Kay's gone, but.
Everything's good there. We'll have our next meeting out at the animal shelter.
Yeah, so go forward.
And Terry?
Career Center right now, our numbers are, we count the job fairs, 472 this month for January. We're seeing an increase of job seekers for part-time jobs, so that's a big one we're seeing. It's mostly retired people, and also disability, if they're receiving benefits, they want to work part-time, and also if they're on government assistance. So we need to increase, find more jobs and part-time jobs. So we'll be working on that at the Career Center. Also, we've been doing a lot of workshops always with the detention center, with career clubs, Washington County Career Club. We're having our job fair at the Washington County Public Library on March the 14th, 9 to 4. And then we're also doing, we work with Project Graduation Marion County, where if you have to register and build a resume with our office to receive Project Graduation points. We've been doing this for a while, but it really does help get ready for the workforce, have a resume prepared for employment or going to college. And also, we're doing a free expungement information session. We got that scheduled for April the 17th, and it'll be at 3 o'clock at the Career Center. We're seeing an increase of people wanting the expungement session at our office. We did one in August. It was great success. We're going to do another one. It'll be April the 17th at 3 o'clock.
They need to make any kind of appointment or just show up, or what's?
Anybody can show up.
Just show up?
We'll have
Okay.
it ready to go.
Okay.
And then we're working with Wind Control, Area Development District, Workforce Development, with the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act program. They're wanting to do a work-based learning program, and we're going to work with the employers where the out-of-school youth, the Lincoln Trail WIOA funds will pay for them to work at a company. So we're looking for employers to...
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. Its starting pay is $9, and they only have so many weeks where they get the $9 for free. We pay, it's all Lincoln Trail Area Development District pays for everything. And then hopefully they'll slide into a higher paid position or a different position. Better wages and everything. We're trying to get our youth ready for the workforce.
That's awesome.
This is the way to start. Lincoln Trail's been wonderful with doing this. They want to start doing some of their youth funds. We have a lot of money. Well, Lincoln Trail Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act has a lot of youth money, so we want to use those funds for the workforce.
That's awesome.
So that'll be coming up soon, and I'll give you more information.
That's a great program.
It is. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
Their old business, new business, we've had discussion about the fire tire. I think Larry Manley's here. He could probably tell you they've started taking the fire tire apart. My understanding, they're taking.
Started Monday night, taking some of the family stuff out. I don't know what Franklin's going to man right now, but we're going to try to get as much of it out of it as we can.
Okay. And they visited some other locations that have the shipping containers, and I think that looks like the way that they all want to go, and they seem to be reasonably priced and not too expensive to put up, so maybe we can get this done really reasonable. So.
Did you ever find anything out on the,
Economic development, when they sold that property, they give the money back to us, so we can apply that towards
I mean,
it.
yeah, they gave the money back per our contract.
But that was, no, they sold the property, and they give us the property to put the tire on. They give the property to the county.
Yeah, I understand. Well,
So then they turned around, when they sold it, they give us that money back. We've got a check in there for, what is it,
22,000.
20, it's 15 an acre.
Yeah, because it was figured on, what was the
1.75 acres, so it'd be
Yeah,
15 times whatever,
It was figured on, they had the percentage in the deed contract, I know.
But it looks like with that, in addition to what the city puts up, it might be a wash.
Yeah.
I mean.
Did you guys ever get a hold of the fire commission in regards to?
You'll have to talk to Chief Manager about that, 'cause I don't know whether yet or not.
I know Trey's talked to him as well.
Well, I'm just curious.
Ray has talked to him, but anything final on that, I cannot tell you.
Yeah, the only question I have is that, and hopefully, they've got $150,000 in the game, okay? So if we come back and, let's say this costs $120,000, are we gonna have to come up with the 30? I guess do we have that answer yet?
When I talked to him, as long as they approve the plan, it doesn't make any difference what it costs.
Okay.
Is what my understanding of that was.
That's awesome.
So, and I think Trey said that they had a blueprint, that he was gonna, I mean, that's what I'm hoping anyway. I mean, that's what I understood him to say, so, it might not cost us anything at the end of the day. That's our goal, so. And it looks to me like, I visited one myself, it looks a lot better than what we got. I mean,
I know I think Bardstown is putting some up, aren't they?
We're gonna get one put up, I think most of everybody's going.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper, it's a lot easier to assemble.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
Awesome.
sturdier too, it seems real sturdy, so, yeah.
Judge, under old business, I know we had discussed a few meetings ago about wages and so forth. Obviously, our entry-level wages, for example, at the road department, sanitation department, $10 an hour, the paramedics. But I'd like to ask that here within maybe the next couple of weeks, because we're getting closer to our budget, okay, budget time. So if we could have a special called meeting to where we sit down as a group and we go through that and take a solid look at those entry-level wages as well as the other wages. And I know Mr. Nugent made a good point about the part-time wages and how they're balanced out there as well. And that's a good point. We did miss out on that last time. And if we can adjust that, but I guess if you guys don't mind, if we could have a special meeting in a couple of weeks to review that and go through it. And Mr. Cochran, obviously what we need there is a list of the employees and current salaries and their former salary with the last pay raise, so.
And did you get that thing, Sheriff Clement sent some of his observations, some of his thoughts, and
Yeah.
we got
Well,
that.
we need to consider it.
Yeah, we got that to look at also.
Right. And of course, we've got the detention center as well, so. Well, technically, we have the whole county to look at.
Everybody, yeah.
Let's be real about it, so, yeah.
Everybody but the masters.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. That's exactly right. Yeah, and we're fine, so. But anyway, if we could have a special call meeting, that'd be great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Date for that, or?
Okay, we can go ahead and set a date on that.
Hang on a second. Our next meeting's 21st. Is a Saturday morning bad for you guys?
It's perfect for me.
Yeah,
It's bad for you?
I got a landfill every Saturday.
Oh, do you? All right. What's a good date for you, Mr. Kirkland?
Later on in Saturday morning, but 6 o'clock in the morning I roll out.
I'll be on the farm after.
I mean, you wanna,
I said any afternoon.
I can do
What
it
about-
6 Saturday morning.
Next Thursday, I mean,
That's, next what?
next Thursday?
That's what we can do after we get back.
Actually, next,
Now we're going
yeah.
to training.
We got that training, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
21st, you'll have another meeting, regular meeting.
How about next Thursday? Is that bad for you guys?
What time you get done, Jack?
Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, I leave out, depending if I gotta make one load or two loads.
What if you have to
Time I'm
make
done
two
about it.
loads? What if you have to make two loads?
11 o'clock.
11?
So,
Then, or after that meeting after the training next week, you know, I don't know, it's gonna, the day's kinda messed up anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true, because we'll be up there, meet with senators and representatives, so probably about 3 o'clock.
Whatever.
Is that bad for you?
That's fine.
Next
Great.
Thursday at 3.
Is that bad for you, Jackie?
About 4.
Is 4 better than 3?
I could probably
I'm
make
gonna
4.
Is
be
5 better than 4?
I'm not gonna,
in the morning is, I'm a morning person, remember, not a night person.
Not a night person?
No, I'm not a night person. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll be back by then, you know.
Yeah. How about,
Maybe 4. Greg, would 4 work for you?
what's better for you, Joe Pat?
That's fine.
It works fine.
2:14, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
From our other meeting.
You can have that information ready for us, can't you, Mr. Cochran?
I will do my best, it will be ready.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Anybody, anything else under old business?
I did talk with Alex Biven this week, and he is supposed to be getting back on these sirens. I know we did several meetings ago allocate some money, which we haven't done anything with, but he's supposed to give me a full list of what we need for these sirens, so, and what he can rob off of these other used sirens. But I asked him to get back with me before our meeting today, but I hadn't heard from him. I am still working on that.
Back one at Calvary, I know a while back it didn't work, it may, I don't know, I haven't heard, checked lately with Barkley out there to see.
He's supposed to be checking on it as well.
Okay. All right. Motion to pay the bills with 6 additions?
Second.
Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Pope?
Then I got one other thing, new business. I want to give $500 to Marion County Middle Baseball.
Second it.
Second?
I'd like to add 250 to that.
Can do
Mr. Kirk?
250 as well on that.
All right, so I've got, Mr. Kirkland, 250, Mr. Elder.
No, Mr. Kirkland's 500.
Mr. Elder?
Yeah. Yeah.
250, Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Did I miss anybody?
I'll do 250 also.
Jackie, would you like to be? Oh, could that 250 put Elder slash Fogel there, you know?
Now I got a motion, Mr. Kirkland.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bishop. Mr. Kirkland.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Elder.
Yes.
Mr. Fogel.
Yes.
Mr. Webb. Yes. Unanimous.
Motion to adjourn?
Good deal.
Good deal. Thanks, sir. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all.